Well, on behalf of the FMA and Media Association and also Communications Fiji Limited, we are elated by what has happened today. I think it's a great step forward as far as genuine democracy is concerned. We always state that the test of a genuine democracy, if you really want to test it, is one of the key foundations is a strong and independent media. And we see that developing here with the repealing of this, I would say, a decree that came in the form of a promulgation in 2010 with no consultation and no parliamentary debate. People have to remember that this, the birth of this law came in the form of a decree. It was promulgated without any consultation, and the same decree then was converted into an act. Media Association has continued to stress that it has limited our growth and development. It has hurt us personally, it has hurt us professionally, and for us to do our work well, with passion, with drive, filled with integrity and honesty, we need to ensure that freedom is granted. Of course, it comes with responsibility, and that's why we have also the Fiji and Media Association and the reformation of the Fiji Media Council, where we discussed yesterday to set up all the mechanisms in place where we have a good media code of ethics in practice already. And it's just a matter of time that we set up the complaints mechanism through the Media Council as well.
If I can just add, this is a good opportunity for newsrooms to really look at the development of their journalists, develop their capacity and skills, and really to push the boundaries in some of the kind of journalism that we can do. And this is in regards to investigative journalism, solutions journalism even. So having this cloud over our head removed allows us that opportunity.
And how does it and as executives of FMA, how soon do you intend to set up mechanisms that will probably guide members of the media?
Well, that's already in place. We have a good media code of ethics. You may remember that there was a very vibrant Fiji Media Council, and we had a very good third edition of the Fiji Media Council Code of Ethics, which was taken word for word and put in the decree, the Code of Practice. So that has always been in place. So the Code of Ethics is there. What we are talking about is that setting reformation of the Fiji Media Council, or revival, because it had to be disbanded after the decree came into place, will ensure that we have a proper complaints mechanism where members of the public who feel aggrieved by anything that the media has done, they can take the matter up to the Fiji Media Council. The Fiji Media Council will be made up of all industry stakeholders, members of the public, the government, so a wide cross-section of the society as well. It doesn't mean that we can do anything and everything unfettered, and you all know in the business we have to always fact check. There always needs to be balance, there always needs to be fairness, without any fear or favor, of course.
The failure or the concern about having, we're talking about self-regulation, but with the Media Council, there's a concern that what mechanism do you have if there's a complaint by a media against another media company? Do you have that?
Yeah, self-regulation is the way to go, so that we take away the fear or favor part. And in terms of neutrality and decision-making, you are being judged by your peers, but the council tribunal is also constituted of members of the public and the government as well. So it will be a wide cross-section of the society. It won't be just the media deciding on itself. I think that was portrayed when there was reasoning being thought of on why the media needed to be regulated through a decree back in the day.
Just comment on, how do you feel about the comments that were coming out from opposition MPs? The fact that Premier is saying that the Fiji Media Council was independent, and also they highlighted the types of headlines that media would come up with without even thinking about how some media personnel had gone through some treatment back in the days.
I think from our perspective, and I will speak because I've been through this journey, and it has been a tough one for us as editors, for all media organizations. Everything hanging over your head on every single story that we do. We do 60 radio bulletins in a day. So you can imagine that we needed to ensure that everything was balanced and fair, and that's our job. We do not complain about that. But I think it is a punch below the belt when you say that we will just go and do whatever we'd like. We'll discriminate against women and girls and children. I think that's a slap in the face of our local media that you can say that we will be doing that. I mean, it's for me. We've just formed a Women in Media branch in the Fijian Media Association to ensure there's strong pillars of democracy within the country. And of course, the steps being taken are immense. We're growing, and we would like the support. The other issue about lack of coverage of the opposition, I would just say it's hogwash, because we are covering the opposition. We are giving them the time, and they need to front up too when we have questions. If they do not answer our questions or do not front up, we cannot do much. And hopefully that they realize that we are not the enemy. We are covering all sides. We walk the middle line and just practice true democracy. And that should be in play all the time.
And I think, looking at the makeup of newsrooms, again, we've done some research in regards to the makeup of newsrooms. Most of our newsrooms, content producers, most of them, at least 50% are women. So again, the decision making comes down to the newsroom leaders, and with the diversity that's there, and of course the responsibility, as Vijay had said, we've exercised that over the years, and it's not something that we're just going to drop the ball on today because of the repeal of the act.
Just one last comment on the multinational observers group final report that has come up. Do you think that MIDA has something to do with the fact that media organizations suggested that the environment in 2022 was more restrictive compared to the 2018?
We had discussions with the multinational observer group, and we gave our thoughts. As you know, we had some difficulties in getting issues addressed clearly from the Fijian Elections Office. Some of our journalists were personally being attacked in press conferences when questions were being asked, and it all played out. I think the members of the public saw that a lot of you journalists were under attack when you were asking simple questions about administrative matters regarding an electoral process, and we should have every right to ask those questions. I think that's where the restrictive word has been used in the MOG report. The other issue is that the Elections Office took up some of the responsibilities of the Media Industry Development Act Authority. I think that was also a concern that was raised, that the Elections Office, in our view, should never be involved in calling out the media, okay, I will now become the authority to tell you this is your story and you didn't do the story in the right way. So we were going into a very dangerous path, and thankfully that good sense has prevailed, and hopefully the recommendations that have come out, that it comes back to the organizations like the Fijian Media Association and Fiji Media Council, and we can work together on finding solutions, good solutions for the people of Fiji.